Well, imagine taking apart a 170-year-old cabin and then putting it back together piece by piece. In this week's Finding Minnesota, John Lauritsen shares why a Scandia man decided to save a big part of Swedish history.
History is very important to this area.
Jim Lindberg was born and raised in Scandia, a part of the state that's known for its green, lush countryside, especially on a rainy day. Since he was a kid, Jim has been passing by the old cabin on Parish Road. The family of Swedish immigrant Nels Bengst built the home in 1856. When Jim retired, he decided to buy it for himself.
The bottom two courses of this building had totally rotted out. I knew the history of the property, and I wanted to look at trying to maybe restore it.
So he began dismantling it, piece by piece. He took out the logs and the planks, power washed them, and debugged them, which means he had to remove insects from the wood. The walls had to come down too. He found 19th century Swedish newspapers inside them.
There was spots that were rotted out, and dovetail corners had to be replaced.
Labor of love.
Labor of love.
He let the planks sit in a barn for a year and then began putting it all back together with a cathedral ceiling, just like the Swedish settlers did. The cabin is roughly 32 feet by 16 feet. Not the biggest place, but at one point a family of 9 actually lived here.
Right here, this is black walnut.
For the spots that were too rotted out, Jim used wood from his property, and then he added a few modern amenities so guests can stay comfortably. It took him 5 long years to complete his rustic restoration.
Tell you the truth, there may have been some naysayers a long time ago, but there aren't any now. So it turned out much better than I ever anticipated.
The cabin has even been part of an historic homes tour in Scandia.
When you travel in Sweden, you see these types of cabins all over the place.
Susan Rodshaw of the Scandia Heritage Alliance says there are far more log cabins in the area than you can see, and homeowners are starting to discover them.
There was actually a gentleman, just as an interesting note, there was a gentleman near our downtown village center of Scandia who had no idea he had bought a house that was log underneath until he started to renovate his living room and cut through the wall and realized there were no studs, it was all log.
It's rediscovering the past, and now Jim hopes other homeowners return to a time that was.
I hope they feel like taking care of a property that maybe looks like it doesn't have a chance may be worth it.
In Scandia, with photojournalist Nick Luneman, John Lauritsen, WCCO News.
Lindberg wanted to thank everyone that helped him restore that old Swedish cabin. Scandia also has plans to restore an old water tower barn in the coming year.